projects we've done. So I'm going to take you through what we can offer at the moment. Yeah, so if you're currently doing the programme, there might be some things that are available that you weren't aware about. And those of you who aren't doing, just have a look and see what you think. Right. Okay, right. Can people see that PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, so the Living Streets and Our Walk to School programme has been offered to Leicester schools for 8 years now, and over that time we've had quite a lot of school involvement. I'd say most primary schools have taken part in our Walk to School scheme since then, and we've worked with about half of the secondary schools in the city as well. I'm just going to touch on this slightly because both Danny and Mel already have, but the reason why we're trying to encourage more walking and active travel to school is for the sort of mental and physical health of the pupils, as well as their family members that might make the journey with them. We're hoping to reduce congestion at the school gates and improve air quality. The journey itself is a perfect time for children to kind of learn and practice road safety skills, things that they just won't get coming to school in the car. And there's also sort of the family time they get as well. I know going into winter, that tends to kind of put a lot more people back in cars again, but actually the children often themselves love jumping through the puddles, kicking through the leaves, and as long as they're doing that, they're happy. It's often us adults that are the ones that gravitate towards using the car instead. And as Danny and Mel have mentioned, fewer cars at the school gates at the moment give families more chance to physically distance from each other. If you've got cars parking on the pavements up to crossing points over the zebras, it's going to give a lot less space for families trying to manoeuvre around each other. So what we can offer to primary schools in the city is our WOW year-round walk to school challenge, and it's an incentive scheme where children that walk, scoot, cycle, park and stride or get the bus to school get a badge at the end of every month. Each year the badges have a different theme. This was the theme for the last academic year, and it was inventions that change the world. So as long as children travel actively to school at least once every single week, then they will earn a badge at the end of the month. For the children that already travel actively every single day, they'll get their badge no problem. I think it's a really good way to remind them that they're already doing a positive thing and to keep it up. And for those families that you might find drive every single day, it's about saying, can you try and do something different at least once a week to start with, and start trying to change their habits just a little at a time, even if that's just them park and striding to begin with, or maybe on a Wednesday they find that they can walk to school, even if on different days they have to drive instead. It's just chipping away and giving the opportunity to try and do something a bit different. The badges are made from repurposed plastic materials, so old fridge trays, yogurt pot offcuts, plastic plates, plastic that would otherwise have ended up in landfill. So we're trying to produce the badges as sustainably as we can. They're all made in the UK as well, so we're trying to reduce our carbon footprint on the travel of the badges, and the packaging that they arrive in as well is recyclable or can be put in the compost. So again, we're trying to make kind of the production of the badges as environmentally friendly as we can. Children log their journeys to school on our digital travel tracker, which can be accessed via interactive whiteboards or iPads. And there's a way that just one individual in the class needs to do the recordings on the screen, so you haven't got lots of people in the class touching the screens. The classes can choose whatever time of day suits them best to log on the travel tracker. Some classes find at the start of the day works best, others find doing it before lunchtime or as part of a reading activity links well. It's whatever works best for that class and their daily routine. Pupils get notified on screen when they've earned a badge. There are child-friendly reports to show how the classes and the school are doing as well. I'm just going to give you a quick demo of the site so you can see what it looks like. Can you see my browser?
Not yet.
Okay, I had my Danny earlier. I'm just going to unshare and reshare because that worked earlier when I switched screens.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Right. Can you see welcome to the WOW travel tracker?
Yeah.
So this is what classes will do kind of sort of as part part of their routine every day is they'd go to the travel tracker via a tablet or the interactive whiteboard and put in a password specific for their school. They then navigate to their class. Got all the different year groups here. So then year 3 squirrels would find their class. The panel at the top shows the theme for the badge that year. So at the moment it's inventions that changed the world. So you kind of see last month was the zebra crossing, and then we're going into something. What is the last one of the month? I think we're moving to kind of the microchip. And this is the badge here that the pupils will be going for. So they always know which one they're working towards. What the class would have to do, one individual would just have to say, click on the walk button and ask the pupils, everyone that walked, put your hand up, and then just click on all the pupils that walked. Then move over, click on cycle, click on the pupils that have cycled, and so forth. There's an option to mark a pupil as absent as well. And then that would be that for the day, and it's kind of repeat that ideally every day of the week. We understand at the moment though there's a lot of additional priorities that schools have to do in the day, so if it's only possible for schools to log on the travel tracker even once a week at the moment during this term, then that's absolutely fine. Yeah, we're adapting the project to make it work for schools at the time and the current pressures that they're under. So ideally do the travel tracker every day, but if it has to be less than that in the week at the moment, that's absolutely fine. At the end of the month, if a child has met their once a week target of travelling actively, a little badge will appear on their icon as well. So at the end of the month, the teacher knows who's earned a badge and knows who to give one out to. Up at the top, there is a dashboard where classes can go and see how they are doing. They can look at the data and figures either in classroom or for the whole school, and they can filter by the month as well. So if I look back at September, bear in mind this is a demo site, there's not an awful lot of data on here, but there's a class of the month leaderboard. So it shows which class had the most active trips that month. And then moving down as well, the school gets to see, and the class gets to see the percentage of children that have done the different travel modes to get to school. So it's quite nice feedback for the children to see how they're doing, be able to celebrate any success and any changes that they're doing. There's also a resources tab at the top as well, where class teachers can see a range of resources to help them run the challenge. Either we've got a WOW launch video which shows why to take part, the benefits of walking to school, and how to earn a badge, down to some kind of lesson plans here for Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2, so linking the walk to school messaging to the curriculum. And there's a few more resources down at the bottom as well. Right, I'm going to switch back to my presentation. Okay, fab. Can everyone see the presentation again?
Yeah.
Can you see me moving the screen on?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, fab. So the core kind of resources that you get from us at Living Streets, you get the subscription to the travel tracker, you get as many WOW badges as you need to reward the children that are travelling actively each month. You get launch materials from us, parent letters, classroom guides. We would normally offer face-to-face assemblies. We can't do that at the moment, unfortunately, so we can either do that virtually for you, do a pre-record and send it over, or send just the template to yourself to deliver yourself in school. We can also offer certificates for any pupils that are supporting to run the scheme in school, and you've always got mine and Sarah's support throughout the year via phone, email, to give you anything you need. For schools that have been doing WOW for, say, maybe a number of years and are looking to kind of refresh, re-energize, keep momentum going once they've got WOW established, then there are additional things that they can do. We've got a WOW badge competition in the spring term. As Danny and I have covered, we can help you with park and stride and walking maps. And when things kind of change again in the future, we can re-offer our walk to school mascot visits. And again, we've got a range of curriculum linked learning resources as well to kind of complement what you're already doing with the badge reward. Just to quickly touch on how the impact of the Walk to School scheme last year, we had 54 Leicester schools taking part in WOW last year, and 38 of those were using the travel tracker to record their data. At the start of the year, when schools kind of do a hands up survey to see how families are travelling at the moment, across those schools, 67% of journeys being made were either on foot or by bike or park and stride. But then kind of as you get towards the year into the spring term, 84% of those trips were being made actively, and fewer cars were being taken right to the school gates. Bearing in mind this data was from September to March when lockdown hit, so we're kind of covering the autumn winter months. So to see that increase in active travel even over kind of the rainy time of year, the cold time, is really, really great to see. And I'm just going to finish on how this links to the Eco Schools criteria. So if you've chosen to do the transport or healthy living topic, the Walk to School scheme can be used as evidence that you've done a project towards that. You can mention that you're encouraging extra travel on your eco code. The informing and involving part of the Eco Schools criteria, we've got lots of resources to help you do that, to let the school community, families and children know what you're doing and why. Logging on the travel tracker helps you with the monitoring and evaluation element of the Eco Schools. If you'd like, we can give you resources to set up an eco board, and again, the lesson plans that we have can help you link to the curriculum. And I know some schools use their travel tracker data in maths lessons, creating graphs and so forth like that. So again, you meet the Eco Schools criteria that way. That is where I'm going to leave it. I know that was a bit quick, there's a bit to cover, so happy to anyone to contact me and I can go through it in more detail, give you more of a tour of the travel tracker. Yeah, that's what we can offer you if you'd like it.
Lovely. Thanks very much, Katie.